Now you talked about styling and doing the fashion shows. How did you get into that?
Man, that shit was so random. So then like this happened in November. I had this guy just randomly come by to like the store. Shout out to my guy Noel. So
Shout out Noel.
yeah, man. So then he came out to the store and he just came back because he thought it was like a normal like Goodwill mom and pop thrift. So he came by and he's like, yo, like I didn't know like a space like this was in Manassas. I was like, yeah, da da da. So then he's like, man, is this your like store? And then I was like, yeah. Then like he's like, do you pick out the clothes? Did you put it together? And I was like, yeah. I mean, it's just my shop.
Yeah. You had to put a little effort into how you wanted to look aesthetically.
Yeah. He's like, oh man, it's like I can tell you're very intentional with like how you want this, whatever, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And then so then like he was like, do you do anything in style and fashion? Because I think you like have an eye for it. And I was like, I mean, I just like resell clothes. And this was like late November.
Okay.
And then he came back a week or two later, and he came back with some of his friends. It was like, yo, this is the store that I'm talking about. Like, look at it. And then it's like, oh, wow, this is cool. Like, really like what you picked out. So me and him would talk more again. And he's like, yo, like, I really think you should do some stuff in style and fashion. So I followed him on IG, and then I come to find out, I'm like, oh, this nigga's like a real designer. Like he's done stuff in like New York Fashion Week. Like he's done like he like makes what's it called, high end couture like dresses and different things like that. And I'm like, man, like. This random guy, he's come by like 2 or 3 times telling me to do some fashion stuff, and then I see like, oh, this is a dude that's really on the fashion side of things. So then I was like, all right, cool, okay, like, let me give it like a little bit of thought.
If somebody in that world already see your eye for talent, it's like, it might be for real. I might be for real. Like, let me try this shit out.
So then he's like, yo, like at some point, I want to work with you because I really feel like you have a thing that you don't know that you like have yet. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, man, like shit, like what do you want me to do? You know what I mean, bro? So then like I like started to like text and talk, and he's like, yo, so I have the show coming out, you want to help me with this, and then blah, 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 da, 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 da. It's going to be in April, boom. So then, I was like, all right, cool, bet, boom. And then literally, I think maybe like 2 weeks later, about like, maybe like, 2 weeks later or so, one of my homies' girl came to me and was like, yo, so I have a fashion show. Can I use some of your clothes in the shop to promote the show? And we will bring the clothes right back. And I was like, yeah, of course, cool, boom. So we did that. Then after that, it was like, so this is random, but do you want to be part of the show? And I was like, what do you want me to do? And then like, there was like, oh man, like we feel like you like have like a really good like eye for clothes and just to see the stuff that you post about like you would style like clothes from like the like shop and then just me being me, this is kind of my personality, and I'm just like, yo, fuck it. Like,
let me just try it out.
You know what I'm saying?
Where it can go.
Yeah, so then I called Noel, and I was like, yo, so I have a fashion show to do in like 3 weeks. And he was like, yo, I didn't expect you to actually like go through like this fast. And, you know what I'm saying?
You surprised him.
Yeah, and then I was like, I mean, let's see. So then so then I guess to fast like forward, I had to style 10 models. So then I started picking clothes out, and then I was like, no. And so then, he's like, yo, I like, I'm not gonna pick out the clothes for you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do because I want you to actually learn.
I want to see what you do.
But then he said one thing that really well. He said two things. I forgot his exact words for like the first thing, but basically he was like, yo, I thought you could do better, or I knew you could do, like, I know you could do, like, better.
Yeah.
So me being just super competitive, I'm like, all right, nigga, I'm gonna get my bag, all right. So, then
they made you lean up in your seat a little bit.
Yeah. So then, and then he said a second thing, and he was like, when you think of runway and styling is art. Yeah, you want to have a piece that a bottom piece matches the top piece, but it's on a runway. You want to have someone look twice if it's for they love it or they're not sure of it, but you don't just want to put shit on the runway that just looks like someone would walk on the road, because what's the point of putting it on the runway? So then that like clicked. Okay, bet. So boom, doing like the show, and they put me in the middle of the show, and then right before the show starts, the director comes to the back, like, yo, we're gonna move you to last. And with me, I said, I don't know nothing about fashion. I'm a nigga that I just sell clothes and I go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So then with me, I'm not coming at it in like a rude way, but I don't have the fashion etiquette that
a lot of people have.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, cool. So what's the big deal? Whatever. Woo. So then Noel comes back and he's like, yo, so I heard they moved you to last, and I guess a lot of the models and the people that was there was like, oh man, did you see what he did with this? Did you see what he did with this girl or this guy? Da, da, da. So I guess the person that was putting the show together was like, yo, I think you have the strongest look, so I'm putting you last.
Best for last.
Yeah, so then they put me last, and I was like, I bet, cool. And they all walked out, they did the thing, and then at the end of the show, they have you walk out and they give you the mic to talk, whatever, and then the lady was like, oh man, you killed it, you stole the show, da da da. So how do you feel? Woo. And I just they told me about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, don't want to be part of the show. And this is my first time doing it, so I was just kind of just let me just try to do this and do that.
Try it out, yeah.
And I guess, and then folks in the crowd and her was like, yo, it's there was no way this was the first show. You absolutely killed it. Da, 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 da. So then, I'm like, damn, I guess he was right then, because folks is really liking it. So then that's kind of how I got in that lane. And then I did my second show about a month ago, April 25th, and that one was out in Richmond. So then kind of added the styling bag to the shop. And then,
So is there a third one in the works, or do you think you want to do something for yourself this time, your own show? Or?
So then I do know in fall I'm gonna work with the guy that I told you about. What's his name? Noel, and he's doing a really big show, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be part of that one. And it's really cool because I never really cared for fashion. I just wanted to just look fly.
Yeah.
But then I guess just the eye for things throughout the years, it's kind of gave me a good eye for not just picking clothes, but how to
goes with what,
and how to put it on
sequence,
people and make the best look, but make it blah blah blah. And then probably I think this week or next week I'm actually going to be doing some styling content that is going to be going to the page every maybe 2 or 3 times a week, which is going to involve some of the customers and just be a little bit more, I guess, interactive, because I do feel one of the things I can do with the shop is, of course, people buying clothes, but then I'm like, yo, I don't know much shops that's doing styling, so I'm like, if I got the eye for it, let me do that as some form of content to go along with just selling clothes too.
So this store has amassed over last time I checked was 35,500 followers. What do you enjoy doing the most about all of this? So you just talked about the styling, the fashion, obviously the store. You do content. You do good enough content to where you can get that many people. I don't even know 35,000 and a half people. So like, what do you enjoy the most about all of this?
That I really just got to like express what's like in my mind, you know what I'm saying, and really put it out in terms of like the clothes that I pick or just how like the shop looks.
Yeah.
And I really do like that people can see stuff that they wouldn't think that they would like until they saw it in the right setting. Because like one of the things is some of the stuff that I pick for the shop, I know 7 out of 10 people is going to be like, that's not me. But for that one person or two
like
folks, them like, yo, I need that right now. And I really like to pick pieces where it's like, you know, kind of how I like to see it for myself is I like to pick pieces that the trend setters will buy. You know what I'm saying? And not just what's like on trend, but I like that a lot of the people that come to the shop are people that have their own unique style, not just people that's trying to just follow every style that's like,
I don't want to look like this
on.
person. Nah, they come to you with a specific vision, like, hey, I like this, I like that.
Yeah.
Can you help me out? Can you help a nigga out? Okay, so I see that. If there for this, what is there one item, if you had to pick one item in here that perfectly encapsulated the golden era of streetwear, urban streetwear, what do you think that item would be if it's in here right now?
Oh man, I don't know. It's so hard to put it into one item because there's so many versions of streetwear. Is like, as I said, there is what's it called? Dapper Dan's streetwear, which is very logo centric. Then there is certain pieces that's like Kith or like, you know, Essentials, which I really love, which is very plain, but it's like it's hard to be like, this is it and this isn't it. But I guess just a mixture. I don't know, like it's hard for me to say one if I had to.
And that's an even better answer too, because as somebody that is so entrenched in fashion pieces and all that, you understand the importance of it ain't really just one thing. It's more so just like you understand the importance of eras and different aesthetics and all that people are trying to get to. So I understand and respect that answer in terms of like, all right, like you can't just really wrap it up into just one item. Like it's very hard to do that. But do you think younger customers right now, like, do you think they understand the history behind some of these brands, or do you think they're just drawn because of the aesthetics?
I had someone come in here the other day and said, I didn't know Wu-Tang had their own merch. I'm like, how you not know Wu wear?
Yeah, like with power and all, like, like.
You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, like, I'm not going to be like one of them, like, guys, it's like, if you don't know this, like, get out the store because you ain't done your history. I'm like, look, man.
There's an opportunity to educate somebody.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I do like that, like, people can see things that even if they don't know what it is, it catches their eye in a way that they didn't think this was a thing. So, like, I feel like that's a cool, like, thing, though.
Now, what separates a genuine rare vintage piece versus something that just simply looks old, in your honest opinion?
How it makes you feel. Like, it does sound like a cop-out, but it's like there's certain, like, pieces where it is worth the value.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, there's like a 70s DC comic Batman tee, and it's got the print from 1978, whatever, this or that. No, I don't give a fuck about fucking comics, so it doesn't really have much value to me, but it's still a $1,000 shirt, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, I could see something where it may be an $80 shirt or $90 shirt, but it does make me like feel something. So I really do feel it's just more on how that piece makes you feel than what the individual piece is. And then I guess if I had to come up with a example is, let me see, I mean, it's like, yeah, so this one is a Wu-Tang hockey jersey from like the late like 90s, and to me I'm like, man, this shit is crazy. But then someone else there was like, yo, like, give me that $45 soccer jersey, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's all just about what something makes you feel. And then the person that may pick the soccer jersey, it could be because they watch that play every day as a 10-year-old kid. So when they wear it, they're like, this shit means something. You know what I'm saying? So
now you already dive deep into the styling world, and you're getting more and more your feet wet into that. So you kind of have a sense and idea of what people like, and different trends and stuff like that. Is there any trends that you probably, if you had to have your little crystal ball over, like, that you could predict, like, is going to start making its way, like, rear its head back into the rotation of fashion right now, even if it hasn't just yet? But where do you see fashion?
So then I do see it. So one, yes, the World Cup, but long sleeve soccer jerseys, the early 2000s and 90s. So like the early 2000s and 90s soccer jerseys, that's a big one. But the long sleeve versions, rugby polos. So, I don't know why, but I definitely feel like
I've seen a few, yeah.
So then I guess like those are my two things that I would say off the top of like my head.
And those are two, because most times when I ask people this, they be like, I don't really know. Like, I've seen like everything has been done before, like it's already been bought back before, but those are two answers. Like, I didn't even really, I knew rugby jerseys, and like I didn't even really pay too much attention to like the long sleeve like soccer jerseys and stuff like that. So from five years from now, what do you want people to say, or they refer your name, Thrift Lorde, into how he contributed to DMV fashion culture?
He just brought his own style, his own swag with it, and really was just in his own lane. You know what I'm saying? Because I do take pride in, of course there were certain things that I do that may be on like trend, but it's because I just like it. But I do take pride in not just trying to follow every trend. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, let me add my like unique taste to like, everything that I do.
So beyond selling clothes, what do you want your legacy to be to build with this business? Because you're already dabbling in a lot more than I could say anybody I probably interviewed so far, just in terms of fashion shows, designing, styling.
I definitely want to get more into styling, and then I did tell myself in June, like mid-June, I'm gonna try to teach myself how like to sew, because I definitely think I do have the mind, the like creative mind to do more like designing. Like, yeah, I've like made merch and it does well, but I do think I can do more cut and sew stuff too.
Yeah.
So so then I definitely think that's like one of like the things that's really like I want to lean more into.
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity to talk to anybody out there who was trying to start up their own resale business, styling, anything, what would you give? Well, like I said, you have over 35,000 followers on social media across platforms. What would you tell somebody? Because you said earlier that a lot of the things that you had to learn about business, you had to learn on the fly. So is there something, now that you know everything now, is there something that you would tell somebody that's just starting out?
One of the things is like there is always going to be things that you don't know, no matter how much information you get beforehand, because it's just you can read all of the books, you can have the perfect mentor, but it's like with like sports, because you like played like in like college too, is it's like you can practice all you want, but you're only going to get better by playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how I see it in that view. But then I would say is, to me, I like to have more of a impact than just make noise. So like it's a thing of like have your own lane and your own niche and really double down on that instead of trying to switch lanes every couple months because the algorithm says this is it, then the algorithm says this is it. It's like, yo, just do you, because then people that fuck with you will genuinely stay fucking with you instead of a crowd that's only with you because you're on trend for this, but then the second the trend goes here, now like they're like gone again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yeah.
You would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so final segment,
Yeah.
smooth or not. We're gonna run through a couple pieces, and you're just gonna give us your honest opinion. If you ain't messing with it, if you ain't fucking with it, it's okay. Just tell us why you ain't fucking with it or why you do fuck with it. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Rapid fire. So we got the starter, the satin team jackets. They could have been the NBA, the NFL. You know,
Smooth. They just look nice.
Pele.
Smooth because it just looks nice, and it looks like, to me, it's like it's made to catch attention. And with me, it's like, yo, if you put that shit on, put that shit on. So definitely.
Okay. Now a velour set or jacket of Sean John, like them old school, like.
Look, man, I know Diddy did some wild shit, but I ain't gonna lie, I saw this crazy ass coat. This was probably 3 or 4 months ago. It was a velour Sean John. I'm like, man, this shit clean. But then I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear like.
But most people now probably not even gonna put 2 and 2 together now. You
true.
got a lot of young niggas in the game.
That's
now.
true.
Rockaware denim. The jacket, the denim jacket.
Those are smooth. Those are clean. Yeah. Because everyone that I've brought in here has actually sold pretty fast, and they do like look nice.
Coogie style knit sweater.
They're smooth because I know people like them. I am not against them, but I don't wear them too much. So I guess if it's me wearing them, I'll say not, but it's not because it's not nice. It's just I just don't like wearing them too much.
So the Carl Candy oversized piece.
Who?
Carl Candy.
You talking about Carl Kanai?
Yeah, start with a K.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
That's me butchering the
good.
name. I'm showing my age a little bit.
You're good. They're smooth. I like those pieces.
Mitchell and Ness throwback jerseys.
Smooth, because like they just make nice jerseys, especially their basketball jerseys.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. One of my favorite jerseys I still got to this day, the Mitchell and Ness, the Houston Oilers Warren Moon. I love that shit to death. That's like one of my go-to fits. That's like I gotta bring that back out though. I might wear that later on. Vintage baggy denim, the last one. Can we go 8 for 8?
Not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me, but you know, my whole opinion is if it's fly for you and you can pull it off, do your thing. So not smooth for me, but if someone else can do it, you do what you do, but not smooth.
Last thing before I get you out of here. So Tobes, do's and don'ts. What are some do's? What are some don'ts from what you learned so far in the fashion world? What are some of the things that, not universal law, you know, to some people, I don't want people being like, oh, well, he said this and that, don't wear this. No, that ain't the point of this. But we got an expert in the building, and we got to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, got to get his take on a couple of things, right? So what are some of the do's and don'ts that you would say to fashion? Really take time to understand yourself and your taste, because it's about putting nice pieces on, but it's about understanding what you want to express, because some of the people that are considered the flyest people, this people, that people, are people that they know how to express themselves. It's not because
Kanye said, wear this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, oh, that shit fly. I don't know what it is, but something just speaks. And it's because if it's he or she, it's like, you know what I'm saying, they have a certain thing about how they want to get fly and what they want to like put on. So really understand yourself, and through that you will understand your own taste on what you actually want to wear and how you want to wear things. So I say that.
All right, Tobes. I appreciate you taking the time to
Definitely.
come sit here, rap with us, you know, during your busy schedule. If you don't know right now, they in Manassas, Virginia. This has been Off the Rack. I'm Smooth. This has been Tobes. Until
Yes,
next
sir.
time, take care.